Good morning. I realize you may not be listening to this in the morning, but it's morning where I am. I got up early this morning to be with you and spend some time talking about professional GMing here on day 3 of the 7-day class to becoming a professional GM, making a little money. So, I am a huge believer in starting these kinds of classes and topics like from level 0. And if you've seen the original Kung Fu Panda movie, there's that scene where Shifu says, there is now a level 0. So I was a high school teacher for 14 years, and I really believe in breaking things down and getting it to where people can get it. And I've taken a lot of online courses myself and learned some amazing things from people online. Some free courses, some courses I paid for. But one thing that I always respected and appreciated was when they went all the way back to the beginning, because not everybody knows the same stuff about this computer internet world we live in. So if you're already a Discord expert and you are probably way better than me, you might know all the ins and outs of Discord, maybe you've been using it for years since it came out or whatever. I just use it for what I use it for, and it works very well for what I use it for and what I'm going to teach here. But if you're a super expert on Discord, then just skip ahead in the video. Just get to where you need to be. You might move the slider back and forth a little bit and find your spot. But I'm going to start with the idea that people know pretty much nothing, that maybe they never heard about Discord until they started taking this class. And so the first thing you're going to need to do is install it on your machine. And so this website here in front of us is discord.com. And right here, if we follow the little bouncy ball in the lower left, there is a button here that says download for Windows. And so that's what you'll want to do. And when you click on download for Windows, you'll see that it wants to install Discord Setup. Do that, and then just follow along to install Discord. I know what I just said about level 0. But my machine already has Discord installed, and if you're using the internet and taking an internet class and everything, I'm assuming that you could at least install something or have somebody help you install it. So I am starting at level 0. I'm starting with Discord, like you've never heard of Discord. But if you need help installing something on a Windows machine, should be able to find somebody to help you with that. But yeah, go ahead and install Discord, and I will be back in the next segment and we'll do some stuff with Discord. So go ahead and get it installed on your machine, and I'll be back on the other side of the little chapter break. Welcome back. I hope you got Discord installed okay. So the next thing that you're going to need, if you have never used Discord before, besides just getting it on your machine, is you're going to need an account. So I'm going to open up Discord, and I made sure that I am logged out. So it's not going to recognize me. I'm going to pretend to be a totally new person here to kind of show you how to do this. So this is Discord. This is not a web page. This is what happened when I opened up Discord. So I'm going to close it down. And if you follow the bouncy ball, my little highlighter mouse here, so you can see, where my mouse is, I'm clicking on Discord here. Or maybe maybe you're going to find Discord in your, in your list of Windows programs or whatever. But, find where it is and start it up. Okay, so there's Discord. Now down here, if we follow the little bouncy ball, it says register. Okay, so I'm going to register, create an account, because I want to help you guys, learn how to do this from the beginning. So today's all about Discord. Okay. So yesterday was about startplaying.games, and tomorrow will be about virtual tabletops. But today's Discord day. All right. So I'm going to use an email here that I've never used for Discord before, so that it doesn't have an issue with me and say, oh, I've already used that email. Okay, so John Clement at protonmail.com. That's one of my emails. I've never used it with Discord before, so Discord shouldn't have a problem with it. I'm going to create a username, and my username is just going to be Teacher Guy. Okay, so I've got an email, I've got a username, and then I'll create a password. It's going to show, oh good, it isn't going to show you guys what the password is. Okay, that way I can use this account for teaching purposes in the future. There we go. All right, and then I don't think it matters so much if people know my birthday. You know, we live in a world of identity theft and everything like that, but I don't think you're going to get much just knowing my birthday. So, and besides, if people ask me my birthday, that means they're thinking of me, and you know. Anyway, so there's the birthday. We'll hit continue. Oh, the password is too weak or common to use. All right, fair enough. Let's come up with a password that it's strong enough for them to accept, but it's not something I'm going to forget later. Maybe I'll just write it down. Okay. There we go. Let's try that. Let's try that password. Okay. We're going to write that down. There we go. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. So I'm human. And okay, so here we go. This is a totally brand new Discord, totally blank. Down in the lower, and if you follow here, the bouncy ball here, down here in the lower left, it says Teacher Guy. So that's the account that I just created for purposes of teaching. So this this is a totally blank, brand new one. If I showed you now later on in this lesson, I'm going to show you my real one. But if I showed you my real one right away, this screen would be all cluttered and it would have all this stuff everywhere. And if you're starting from the beginning, Discord can be a little confusing. I mean, I had to get used to it. I had to hunt and peck and click on things, and things weren't exactly where I expected them to be and stuff like that. So I think it's a lot better to just start at the beginning with y'all. So right up here, there's this orange bar. Please check your email and follow the instructions to verify your account. Okay, I'll do that later for this teacher account. But apparently that'll be a thing they'll want you to do. So the first thing that they're going to want you to do with a brand new account is, you know, add friend here, because, you know, they want to get you pulled into Discord. They want to make you a user. They want to get you in. And of course, you know, like with any social media, you kind of got to have peeps. You kind of got to have friends. You kind of got to have somebody to talk to. Otherwise, why are you on the social media? So, so the first thing that we're going to want to do is kind of get acquainted with how Discord works here and everything, and then we'll switch over to my Discord, and I'll show you how I have it set up for Game Shop's Basement Professional DMing. All right, welcome back. So far today we installed Discord. So it's on our machine. We created an account so that we have a Discord account, and now we are going to create a Discord server. So a server on Discord is like having your own space there on Discord. Okay, that it's all you. Okay, so up here on this little plus sign on the upper left says add a server. Okay, and since this is a brand new baby account and I haven't done it yet, and you know, they want me to get involved and become a regular user. They don't know I already am a regular user, and this is just my teaching account to teach you all. But so I'm going to click on this plus, and yep, create your own server. You know, create a brand new server with voice and text chat for your buddies. Got it. Okay. So we're going to add this server. All right, and I want to. They've got some templates here: gaming, school, club, study group. I've never used a template. I just hit create my own, and I'm going to go with you know, club or community, And then here's where you can upload an icon. Since this is just my little teaching account, I'm not going to do that, but you'll see my icon. If you don't know me already, you'll see my icon in just a little bit when we move on to my real account and I teach you from there. So we're going to create this. All right, so now in the upper left here, it's where if you follow the bouncy ball, it says Teacher Guys Server. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to just dismiss that little help thing. Okay, so here we go. Now, right now in this server, there are 2 channels. That's just how it starts by default. We're going to add some more, but I want to explain how it works first. So if we follow the little bouncy ball, there's one text channel called General, and there's one voice channel called General. You can name these anything you want. So if I look over here, if we follow the bouncy ball, it says Edit Channel. I get a chance to change its name. I could change the name to, anything I want. I could call it, Hanging Out. Okay, and then down at the bottom, Save Changes. There we go. And then over here, there's an Escape X. And in Discord, whenever you're in settings like this, if you want to back up and go back to regular Discord, you've got to hit that Escape X. These are things I had to figure out. Okay, so now I get to show them to you. Okay, but if we look here, now it's instead of General, it says Hanging Out. Okay, and I could do the same thing with this voice channel. I could call it whatever I wanted. Now we're going to need to add more channels. Okay, because 2 channels is not enough. And so there's these pluses, and you can use these pluses. Where it says create channel, and you decide whether it's another text channel or another voice channel, and there's the name, and you just create it. Okay, now I'm not going to do that here, but when we get to my real Discord, you'll see how many channels I have. I'll explain why I called them what I called them, what they're for, and stuff like that. But this is how you create channels on your server. So some other things, just basic navigation for Discord. When you get to my Discord, you'll see that I've got more than one server. So here on the left, in this left column that I'm hitting with the little highlighter bouncy ball, in that left column, those are the servers that you are a member of. And as you become a member of more servers, and I'll explain that when we get to the other Discord channel, why you'd be in more servers and stuff like that than just your own. But when you get more servers that you belong to, that you're a member of, they will appear here on the left. Another thing to remember about the left is that right up here in the top left, where it's when you hover over it, it'll say home. That will always bring you back to, that'll always bring you, that's a very important button to know. So if you're new and Discord starts to look confusing and you don't know where things are, remember that home is up there on the left. Just hit home. It'll bring you back here. Now it changed when I hit home. Okay, because this is the beginning. Where I was before, I just created this server, right? So this server is right here, and they just abbreviated it TGS. And I could upload a special cute little picture for it if I wanted, but I don't really need to do that for the teaching server. But just this Teacher Guys server. Okay, so if I go there, oh, here's this server I just created, and it's got these 2 channels. Text channel that I renamed Hanging Out, and the voice channel that still says General. Okay, so if you're new to Discord or anything like that, or just how these computer things work in general, so now I'm on my server, but up here I can hit home, and home's going to look a little bit different. Okay, home is where you go back to if something looks confusing. The TGS, Teacher Guys server. And there'll be more servers as we go. Then on the right here, this is an important thing. On the right is all the members of the server, and whether they're online or not, you could click on them and start a chat and talk to them and say hi or whatever. Because I just made this server, I'm the only member. This Teacher Guy identity that I created, and it's got a little crown next to it. It says I'm the server owner. Ooh. and server owner power trip. But anyway, so this would be how you create a server and create channels on that server. So at this point, I think I've shown you all I'm going to show you on this little baby teacher account. So when we come back from the next little chapter break, we'll start on my real Discord, and it'll look crowded compared to this. Okay, so if you're not used to this kind of computery stuff, but I'll have my little bouncy ball cursor, and I'll walk you through it, and I'll show you, where everything is. But what we wanted from this part of the lesson is to understand how to create a server. A server is your own little space on Discord. This one's called Teacher Guy Server. We want to understand that you can, up here in the upper left, you can always go back home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. So there's this, home is up there. There will be, one of the points here is to understand about channels, because you'll need channels. There are two kinds of channels. There are text channels. There are voice channels. On the left here, you're going to see a list of the servers you belong to as you add more and more servers you belong to. And over here on the right is a list of the people on the servers, or the people who are a member of the server you're in. So going to beat this to death, but I was a teacher in a classroom, so this is kind of what I do, and then we'll be done with this chapter here. But now I'm in my server, now I'm home. Now I'm in my server, now I'm home. Now I'm in my server, now I'm home. So all right, enough of that. And I'll see you after the chapter break, and we'll actually, instead of being in Teacher Guy's server, we'll be in Game Shop's basement server. We'll get into some more Discord stuff. Okay, so here we are in Discord. This time it's my Discord, my real one, not the little teacher one I made in the last couple chapters of this lesson. So far, we've installed Discord as if you've never had Discord before or even heard of it before now. Because just like the first Kung Fu Panda movie, we want to be able to start from level 0. So I created an account, and I created a server on that account, and we created channels on that server. So if any of that isn't clear, you can definitely just rewind the slider here back to some part that you need to see again. That's a great thing about the internet. And we're going to go ahead and move on. This is the actual Discord that I use for Game Shop's basement. And I've got the home button selected here, and up in the upper left corner, your home button, kind of mashing it here, but it's not really doing anything because I'm already home. If you get lost on Discord, your home button is your friend, upper left corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick little tour of what's here, and I'm going to explain each piece, if there's anything to explain about the way that I've set it up and the reasons for setting it up that way. So first of all, what home looks like here is on the left. If we follow the bouncy cursor here, on the left we have the servers that I'm a member of. And I think Discord has some sort of huge triple-digit number of servers you can belong to, or something crazy like that. More servers than, I could spend all day on, on Discord. I do anyway, but like, I just never visit all those servers, if I belong to a couple hundred servers. But, and then what's on the main area here, if we follow the bouncy cursor ball, this is just the last thing that I was doing. And so the last person I talked to, because right here, between the server list on the left and the chat on the right, this is just the people that I've been talking to lately, for individual messages, not for group chats, but the people that I've been talking to for individual messages. And the last one was Fanzak here. And so that's why here, it shows Fanzak, because that was the last person I talked to. If I want to talk to somebody else, if I want to talk to Gabriel here, just click on him. If I want to talk to Thal here, or Nightingale 1274, or whatever. Okay, so then if we just kind of go down the left here, I'm going to kind of show you each server that I belong to and what happens when you click on each one. So this next one down here, it has a Buffy the Vampire Slayer logo on it. And if I hover over it, it says that this server is the Templar Games server for Buffy and Shadowrun. This is the server for one of my fellow DMs on the internet. Obviously, this person likes Buffy and Shadowrun. I'm just going to click on it here, and boom, we go to that server. And up here, it says Templar Games server, and there are 3 text channels and 3 voice channels. And the text channels are General, Clips and Highlights, and Buffy RPG. And then the voice channels are Lobby Gaming and Buffy RPG. So here in the middle, we have the latest stuff that has been talked about or chatted in the general text channel, because that's selected here, kind of mashing down on it. But if I change it to Buffy RPG here, now all of a sudden it's the latest stuff that's been in that chat thread. And then over here on the right are the server members, the members of the server, and whether they're online or not and stuff like that. So if we go down, the next one is called Adventures in Babysitting, and this is another private server for another Game Master Online. 4 text channels and just 1 general voice channel, and then we have a little shorter list of members here. So this is a more private server, not so many people. The next one we have here is Gav's Chill Out Corner. Gav is a guy who's a guild master for Star Wars The Old Republic MMO, and that's how I met him, and Discord was being used as the guild chat for Star Wars MMO. And when I was more into that before I started pro DMing, and that started taking all my time. You might even notice over here on the member list that my name there's Kleejo. That was the name of my Star Wars MMO character. So if I've ever kicked your butt in PvP in Star Wars MMO, I'm not sorry. Then this next one is Game Shop's Basement. I'm going to click on that last because that's ours. And I'm going to teach about why it's set up and how it's set up that way and stuff like that. So I'm going to click on that last. I'll come back to it. This next one is startplaying.games, and this is a Discord server that exists for startplaying.games corporate plus game masters. So if we look at the server list here, follow the bouncy ball cursor over to the right here. These people, this goes on and on and on forever. Just members. There's me. Oh, I saw GM John there. I'm in there somewhere. There I am. Woo, that's me. Okay, so anyway, so this exists for startplaying.games corporate and for GMs. You can get all sorts of announcements and things. You might notice that they have all text channels. They don't have any voice channels because I'm sure they're super busy and have better things to do than voice chat all day. But this is kind of important. As long as startplaying.games is your platform, which I think they're the best one out there. That's why I'm teaching to use that one. That's why I use that one myself. As long as startplaying.games is your platform, it's important to be on this server and read the announcements and see what's going on. And they're also very cool and fast to respond if you ever have questions or need help. So they're awesome. This next server is Sullyman's server. He's a friend of mine. Excellent game master here in the St. Louis area. He's I consider him a leader in the local game store Adventure League scene. He also is huge in local conventions and driving distanceable conventions from St. Louis. So he's amazing. You might notice my name here on this server, Maris Elf Power Wolfthorn. That's the character that I very often play when I've played on this server before with Eric. Then we have one here called the Fallen God, and that's another smaller, more intimate private server. All right, so that's the servers, except this last one here, Game Shop's Basement. That's the one we're really interested in. So I'm going to click on that. At least that's the one we're really interested in for teaching purposes here. Okay, so I'm going to scroll this up to the top, this part. So it's Game Shop's Basement, and you can see that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 text channels, and then I've got a whole bunch of voice channels. So we're going to kind of go through these just a little bit. So the first text channel, I'm going to click on it, and then you'll see the stuff in the middle change. This is the announcements channel. The announcements channel is a fairly new thing. I just added it about a week or two ago. and I had some learning to do. Um, I went into Discord settings. Discord has a bunch of settings, and you can just really go down a rabbit hole learning everything there is to know about Discord, and then not spend any time DMing or making money or learning about your business. And so many computer things are like that. So many computer things are so complex that you can really go down a rabbit hole trying to learn every little thing there is to know about them, when really you just need to know what you need to know to do your thing, you know, and rather than spend all that time down that rabbit hole. I mean, I'm a computer geek. I love computers. Computers are awesome, but there's just not time. There's only 24 hours in a day. You can't do everything. So with this announcements channel, if I go over to settings here, or edit channel, the edit channel little setting symbol for the channel, um, I went into permissions. Well, okay, first I created some mistakes I made here. So you're getting to learn you know, as you know, you're getting to learn just from me teaching what I learned the hard way by making mistakes. But at first I just created an announcements channel, and I thought announcements was pretty self-explanatory. But then I noticed that people were just chatting in the announcements channel, just talking about whatever. And the next day, I got some feedback from one of our members at Game Shop's Basement, who said that he really liked that we had an announcements channel and that he was subscribed to the announcements channel, but his phone was blowing up for stupid reasons that people were just chatting. And he said he really appreciated getting announcements. He wanted to read announcements, but he couldn't have his phone blow up all the time. So one thing I learned was that people can subscribe, or they can have their alerts set for Discord, so that certain things that you care about in Discord more than others will actually ping your phone or your tablet or PC or whatever you relate to the internet on, and other things will not. So I had to go in and I had to change these permissions here. Right there, the permissions. And I just thought, I mean, I'm a computer nerd. This looks pretty easy to understand, and I just did what I thought would create the announcements channel where only I could post to it. Well, then a few hours later, I got some feedback from a couple of our Game Shop's Basement members, and they could see that we had an announcements channel, but they couldn't actually see what the channel said. So in other words, the announcements channel was showing up here on the list on the left that we had one, where the bouncy cursor ball is now, but they couldn't actually read anything in the middle here where the bouncy cursor ball is now. They could see that we had one, but they couldn't read it. So I went ahead and I found a tutorial, a Discord tutorial specifically on how to create an announcements channel. And I just followed that tutorial to the letter. And so I'm going to include the web address to that tutorial down below this video for you, so that you can do the same thing I did. And now my announcements channel works properly as far as I can tell. All right, and then the next text channel we have here is the Basement Hangout channel. And the Basement Hangout channel, this is our default channel. This is the channel that when I first started the server was just called General Chat or General Text. And I just changed it. I renamed it to Basement Hangout because that goes, with our theme being the Game Shop's Basement. And we'll talk about that more when we have our marketing lesson. The next channel here is the Avray Use channel. And Avray is a Discord bot. What a Discord bot is it's an AI computer program that works on Discord as if it were a person, and you can talk to it or send it commands or make requests or whatever. And you can even see here with the bouncy cursor ball, it says Avray and it says it's a bot. And if you follow this purple line down that I'm scrolling through, that's one post from Avray. Okay, and then down here, there's like this pinkish orange line. That's another post from Avray. So Avray posts tend to be really long. Here's a kind of a light blue turquoise one, and it's not as long, but it's pretty long. And so the Game Shop's Basement member who turned me on to Avray also wisely told me that I should create a separate channel for it. Now, Avray, I just have it as an option. Okay, I just made a big spiel about Discord and how you can go down rabbit holes trying to learn all this esoteric computer nerd knowledge about stuff on the internet that doesn't actually make you money, and you're not actually using it, and it's taking up a ton of time, and you're trying to just cram this knowledge into your brain. And I'm like, well, what am I trying to, cram for finals in college or something? I mean, it's like I'm trying to like learn how to make money, not, not just study for the sake of studying. And so the yeah, I'm trying to learn how to make my business work, not just cram a bunch of knowledge in my head I'm not going to use. I had school for that, but I'm dumb. A lot of us did. But anyway, um, so Avray can, just so you know, I mean, just so I give you the complete picture. I don't use it this way, but you can. Avray can run your whole game. Avray can handle every saving throw. It can handle every swing in combat. It can handle every two-hit roll. It can handle every damage roll. Avray can do this for D&D. I don't really care to do it that way. I started looking into it just to see what would be involved. And when I started looking into it just to see what it would be like, I saw that there were like command lines to learn and that there were arguments to learn. And I don't mean arguments like disagreeing with someone. I mean arguments like things that you put in computer code or in math equations, those kind of arguments. And again, I thought, like what? I don't need to be learning computer code right now. That's, I can run games on Discord just fine without this. But some people really like Avray. So I created a channel for them to use it on. It's an option. I don't require it, but it's free, and it's something that you can put up on Discord for your players who like it. Okay, so the next three channels here I'm going to talk about together because they kind of go together. This one is called D&D 5e OGL Worlds. This one's called Superheroes, and this one's called Star Wars. And what is going on with that is I had a Game Shop's Basement member that suggested that I create different text chats for different games, because like she didn't care about superheroes. Okay, she was avid D&D player but didn't care about superheroes, and I get that. I understand that, and I was really hesitant, because as I get into the marketing and the branding and where we kind of come from as Game Shop's Basement, what my background is as a gamer, there, if you go to GameShopsBasement.com, our website, and you go to the bottom, it actually talks about our story, what the phrase Game Shop's Basement means. And so in the 1980s and 1990s, there was an actual physical brick and mortar game store, and I grew up gaming in a Game Shop's Basement. And in that Game Shop's Basement, all sorts of different gamers mixed and mingled and became friends, and some of them got married, some of them dated, some of them had kids, some of them just formed lifelong or at least years and years long friendships that with people they probably wouldn't have met. They were exposed to new games, appreciated new games they might not have appreciated before. So we had the game store was about 10 miles from Whiteman Air Force Base, and so there were the military guys. And then also in Warrensburg, Missouri, there's a four-year university, so there were the college students. And then there were the townies. There were the people that would have lived there and been gamers anyway. And these three groups, the townies, the college people, and the military people, all mixed. And they just all pursued their love of gaming. And also another sort of differentiation or stratification or diversity was that there were people for whom Tolkien and Lord of the Rings was their gateway into fantasy and gaming. But in the 90s, there were people who were coming into fantasy because of Anne Rice and vampires and White Wolf's World of Darkness and stuff like that. We noticed that they were like these goth folk that weren't getting our Tolkien references. And, there was a new gateway drug in town to D&D, and it wasn't Tolkien anymore. And the thing is, that's always changed, the gateway drug into D&D. I mean, I meet people that come to Game Shop's Basement all the time to play D&D for the first time, and their gateway drug has been Matt Mercer in Critical Role. And that was their first real exposure and stuff, or just seeing D&D portrayed in the Netflix series Stranger Things, stuff like that. So anyway, but I was a big proponent of this whole idea that people would mix in the virtual Game Shop's Basement online the way they used to mix in the real basement in the 80s and 90s. So I was a little bit hesitant to create separate chat rooms because I thought, oh, now I'm separating people. Now I'm not going to have that alchemy. Now I'm not going to have that magic of people mixing. And so I didn't. Some people do appreciate it. I still put almost everything in Basement Hangout because I want to keep people together. And I didn't stratify it as much as I could have. So this first room says D&D 5e OGL Worlds. OGL stands for Open Gaming License. Um, just in case you don't know, real quick, in the world of D&D, because of Open Gaming License, third-party companies can make D&D worlds as long as they observe the proper legalese. As long as they follow the terms of use of the Open Gaming License. Well, anybody listening to my voice now, you could create your own D&D game world and actually have it published and sell it in stores and stuff, as long as you learn how to use the Open Gaming License properly. And but any D&D world, okay, so like right now in Game Shop's Basement, we're doing Mystara, we're doing Dragonlance, and those are official worlds that are owned by Wizards of the Coast, but we're also doing a world called Realms of Pugmire, which is a third-party game or third-party D&D world that uses 5th edition Open Gaming License. So then we've got superheroes, and that would include all your superheroes. That would include DC Universe, Marvel Universe, Smurdiverse, any superheroes, and then here's Star Wars. Now, I do know enough as a sci-fi fan that let's say that tomorrow we started a game at Game Shop's Basement that was a different sci-fi franchise that was like Babylon 5 or Star Trek or Stargate or Farscape or something like that. Okay, so if we started a new sci-fi franchise game, I know enough about sci-fi that those fans don't mix as freely as other fans, or at least they don't appreciate the conversation mixing as much. You don't want necessarily to have a conversation that has Jean-Luc Picard and lightsabers in it in the same conversation. I think sci-fi fans of sci-fi franchises, they appreciate a little more stratification. So that's what I would do there. So if but these are the three genres we have right now. I kind of think of them as the genre rooms. Then we go down to voice channels here, and these voice channels, I've got Gamers Hangout Room. This is the basic default one. Then I've got Session Zeros, and I'll talk more about Session Zeros on Marketing Day, but just to define what they are for now, and then we'll talk about how to use them and how they work on Marketing Day. But Session Zeros, that's a phrase from gaming that basically talks about the first time you get together with your group and you're not necessarily going to start into your story yet. You're not necessarily going to have an adventure yet. Session Zero is basically for people to figure out what they're going to play and roll up their character and talk with other people about their characters and talk with the Dungeon Master about the world they're running and just sort of get ready to play so that on Session 1, they can just get right into it. They can just start, weaving that group story between the Dungeon Master and the players in Session 1. So, Session Zeros, those happen there. Session Zeros at Game Shop's Basement are free, and I will get into more of the Session Zero theory, how they work, and what's going on with that on Marketing Day. The next one here is Smoking Lounge. This is a homage to something that we used to do at my physical table. Right now, my physical table is being handled by my younger son while I do this professional DMing thing. But at my physical table, I'm 50. I started playing D&D when I was 11, and I started the campaign that I'm running in continuity when I was 16. So I've done this ongoing world for a long time in the D&D multiverse, and there's always been some smokers, like especially when there were a lot of Whiteman Air Force Base guys. Smoking's a thing in the military. What they always used to tell me when I was a kid, because in the 80s I was a teenager high school guy, and in the 90s I was a college kid. Like I graduated high school in 1990, so there's kind of an even distribution between the decades there. But they always used to tell me that there's so many other people smoking in the military to handle the stress that you just kind of get sucked into smoking. And there were lots of people that would just smoke for the military part of their lives, and then when they got out of the military, then they didn't smoke anymore. They didn't carry it on and be a smoker for the rest of their lives. But smoking's a thing, and in the actual physical game shop, people had to go smoke outside for smoke break, or when I was DMing in my college years on college campus, they had to go outdoors on campus. They couldn't do it, in a building, or even in my house. Nobody in my family smokes, but like my mom, for example, even just being in a place where the furniture smells like smoke and stuff because there's been smokers there, that gives her migraines, intense headaches. So, if I want my mom to visit, we can't really have smokers smoking in the house. But anyway, so but fortunately, by God's grace and mercy, every place we've lived, we've pretty much had this nice covered porch of some sort, with you could put chairs and chill out and relax. And so we call that the smokers lounge, because the smokers, they will arrange their break to take their break together. And they will actually say things like, how long can you go without a Nick fit? And nicotine fit. And anyway, they will all go out together, and there'll be things like, well, there's obviously something to fight in this room, and that combat could drag out and everything. Let's go take our smoke break now before we start fighting whatever that is. And because they're in a conversation that involves the game and stuff, other people who aren't smokers are in their conversation, and so this whole cadre of people, this little group of people, all just go out on the porch, or out on the smoking patio or whatever, and they have smoke break. So we call that the smoking lounge. Now, it's not just a homage to that piece of physical in-person gaming, though. If you needed to talk to me or even another player for something that was conversational, something that was more than just typing somebody a quick direct message in Discord, you can, in the physical world, people used to pass me notes, on paper behind my screen. But these days, people can just type something to me direct in Discord that nobody else sees because it's a direct message. But if you really actually need to talk back and forth verbally, something more than just a quick typed message, you go to the smoking lounge. And or if you need to talk to somebody about something related to your real life that you don't need to bring up at the table, smoking lounge is a good place for that. Then the rest of the rooms here are a list of our games. And this is where we go to play these games. So this does a few things. Well, three things, really. One, it looks impressive. When people come to my session zeros, and they see we have 13 lines here representing 14 games, because this one here meets Tuesday and Thursday. So depending on how you count, there are 14 games a week happening here, represented by 13 chat rooms. And so that gives the right impression to new people that, hey, Game Shop's Basement has stuff going on. This is a real thing. This is not some fly-by-night, hole-in-the-wall little group. Another thing that it does is it provides the schedule right there. It provides the schedule right there, and we also have the schedule on our website at GameShopsBasement.com, but people can quickly see there what we're doing. So, like, we've got Monday Mystara, that's a D&D world. Monday Mystara, 3 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Monday Mystara, 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Tuesday Mystara, 3 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Tuesday and Thursday, that's the one that plays twice a week, Mystara, 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Got a few more Mystaras on Wednesday. And then Thursday, we start Marvel Universe. Thursday Marvel, 10 a.m. Thursday Marvel, 4 p.m. Friday night, we've got that Pugmire thing I was talking about. And on Saturday nights these days, we're doing Dragonlance. That is one of our biggest campaigns. And we had just added some Star Wars. There's some Star Wars Saturday afternoon. But if we add any more Dragonlance people, we're going to need to start a new game. That table's like overflowing. But anyway, so first it provides the schedule for people to see functionally, to check out the schedule. And secondly, it looks good. It makes a good first impression. The third thing that it does is people can actually subscribe. They can turn on their Discord alerts for certain rooms here. And I used to, when I first started, I used to have just one room there, and it was just called Live Games or something like that. I don't even remember exactly what I called it, but there was just one room for this purpose to actually play a live game in. So there used to only be 3 rooms, well, 4. There was Gamers Hangout, Session Zeros, Smoking Lounge, and then Live Games. Well, one of our members contacted me, said she was a nurse, and that her phone kept blowing up because every time we gamed, since there was only one room, like the live sessions room, she was getting an alert on her phone. And so she said, you might want to create separate rooms. And I did, and it's been a good thing. So That is pretty much Discord. Now, to start a game, let's say I'm going to start. We'll see. So this afternoon, I'm going to be doing this 4 p.m. Wednesday Mystara. So let me click on that, and you can see my little my icon jumped in there, and you can see there's this green circle around my face because I'm talking. So if I click on Wednesday Mystara again, there we go. This is the room. I'm the only person in there right now. And if I turned on my camera, you could see my face and everything. But if there were more people, here's where you would see them, or see their avatars if they're shy and don't turn on their cameras, or if they're just trying to conserve bandwidth. Because that's a thing. If your connection isn't really good, you can kind of sacrifice your camera to use the voice, make the voice better. Conserve bandwidth. But anyway, so this is where we game. And then if I need to tell people things or show people things during the game, I go right up here to announcements, and I'll put stuff in here if I need to type something in there, or like if I want to show them a picture, I'll use Windows Snip tool to snip out original module art that it'd be cool for them to see and put that in there. One of the things that's actually an improvement over brick and mortar in-person gaming is that in the olden days, I would really want to show the players some of this original product art, because a picture's worth 1,000 words, and the picture really gets things across. But then I'd have to pass the book around the table, and that would slow down the game while everybody passed the book around. And then also, there's stuff on those pages that they're not supposed to be seeing, and of course there would be roaming eyes. And so, with Windows Snip tool, right down here, there's my Windows Snip tool. Anyway, it's down here on the. I keep my Windows Snip tool on my taskbar down at the bottom. I can snip things out and put pictures there. I can put things there that I want to show people. Links if I want to send them to a website while I'm DMing, so they can see something that's going to help explain what I'm talking about. But I will. I actually DM with two screens. I DM with a PC and a laptop, and so when we get to the day on DMing, I'll kind of show you how I've got my rig set up and how this really kind of works, and how I coordinate between my laptop and my PC. So generally, I have Discord on my laptop, and I put the virtual tabletop and PDFs of my gaming materials and stuff on the PC. But I'll show you that on that day. So this is Discord, and Discord is changing. All this computer stuff is always changing. Since I've been doing this, Discord changed a little bit, added a few new features, and we're going to keep you up to date on those features in two ways. One, the slower way, is sooner or later, eventually, enough stuff's going to change that I have to do this course again, that I have to create a new edition of this course. But that might take, who knows how long that might take. That might be next year or something. The shorter way is after you take this class and graduate from this class, you can join the Game Shop's Basement Council of Game Masters. And the Basement Council of Game Masters is an ongoing membership thing. It's like $20 a month, which is just slightly more than an MMO subscription, which most gamers squeeze out of their budget anyway. And then you will get the absolute latest from me, from other game masters, from our YouTube channel, from our Discord, through email, anything that you want to opt into, because I'm a big believer in opting in, not just spamming people. But you'll be able to be attending Zoom meetings, conferences. You'll be able to participate as a member of the Game Shop's Basement Council of Game Masters. And that way you'll get, when things change, if Discord changes, if StartPlaying.games changes, if Owlbear Rodeo changes, we'll be right on it. And that's the quickest way to get updated information, not just from me, but from your fellow game masters on the Council of Game Masters. So that's my plug for that. All right, so tomorrow's video, if you're doing this one day at a time, or just the next video if you're binging them, I know that's what I would do. I've taken online courses to learn stuff before. I know how I am. So the next video is on Virtual Tabletop, Owlbear Rodeo, and we will see you there. And there is one thing for Discord that I totally forgot about. This is actually the next day after I finished the Discord lesson, and I realized that there's something pretty important I needed to mention. I just did it once in the beginning and then forgot about it. And it's going to be the same thing with you too, because you just got to set up in the beginning. And that is, in order to get a link to invite people to your Discord, so I hit home. So I always want to show people how to navigate from home. So upper left, I hit home. This is where we'll start. Then I'm going to go to the Game Shop's Basement server. And if I want to have a link to invite people to the Game Shop's Basement server, then up here at the server name, Game Shop's Basement, there's invite people. And this gives you a link. Now the thing is, it says here your invite link expires in 7 days. That sucks. That's stupid. Obviously, you don't want to have to try to keep up with this every 7 days. So it says edit invite link. Let's click on that. And you can, instead of 7 days, you can say expire never, which is what you want to do. Click on never, expire never. And then, if for some reason you were doing something else that had different needs, or you using Discord in a different way, you could even set a maximum number of uses. But we want to invite as many people as possible. And I don't need to be coming back here and changing this setting every 7 days and getting a new link. So make sure that you hit never. And then I didn't know this at first, that you could do this. I just thought I had belonged to Discord before as an MMO player to keep up with MMO guilds, and all their password or all their invitation links all expired in 7 days. So I would be in like Star Wars: The Old Republic MMO, and I would be looking at a guild window in Star Wars Republic MMO, and they'd have this invitation link and it'd be expired because nobody ever updated it. And so I just thought that, by default, you see that was the default thing, that it expires in 7 days. You can change that to never. You definitely need to do that. Okay, otherwise, if you don't do that, then your link's going to expire. And when I first started doing this, I did lose some people that way, because they were like, oh, your link didn't work. So make sure you hit never, and then you'd hit generate new link, and then you would get a link. It would look something like that. Copy the link, and I save that link, on a document in Google Docs, and then I can put that link out wherever I need to. Like yesterday or in the previous video, you would have seen me putting it in my Start Playing Games templates. All right, so that's just an important little addendum video on Discord, because you don't want it's how you generate a link, and how important it is that you change the expiration date on your link to never. All right. We'll see you in the next video.